Hi, I'm Michelle Stanton, Fitness Director at Prevention Magazine. Today we have a rare opportunity to get all your questions about cellulite answered. Chris Freitag and I are here today with Dr. Glynis Abalon. Thanks for coming. Dr. Abalon is a cellulite research expert, a dermatologist, assistant professor at UCLA, and the director of the Abalon Skin Institute.
Thank
Quite impressive credentials.
Keeps me busy.
So what exactly is cellulite?
I think you have to understand that there are two kinds of cellulite. There's the true cellulite, which is the dimpling that we see, that alteration in skin, typically on the hips and thighs and buttock area and tummy sometimes, due to the change in the skin. There's compression cellulite, which is then any person that crosses their legs. If you look on that thigh area, you can see that cottage cheese-like look that no one likes, but that's not actually true cellulite.
So just by squeezing, we can all have some cellulite.
We can all have cellulite.
Now,
Everyone has
now
it.
you've explained
Exactly.
it. And why does cellulite look different than other fat on other body parts?
Well, you're looking at, typically we're looking at cellulite in women because women do have a higher percent body fat than men do, and their skin is different. And so when you're looking at the women's body, fat typically accumulates in that kind of pattern where you'll see it more in the hip area, more in the thighs, the buttocks, the abdomen. That's a typical area for it to deposit, and so that's where you'll notice more of that cellulite appearance.
The common trouble zones.
Exactly, exactly.
And what gives it that dimpling effect?
The dimpling is due to, it's actually the fat cells themselves. What I describe to my patients is that you have, let's say, a mattress, and you've got the buttons on a mattress. The mattress buttons is then, there's that thread that detaches down. That's the fibrous septate that's found in our skin. Okay, so it pulls down. Around that, the cushions, like in a mattress, that's our fat cells basically moving around those septate. And what you'll see then is if the fat cells are larger and the skin is thinner, those become more prominent and the cellulite is more extensive.
Okay, so what contributes to cellulite?
Many things contribute to cellulite. I think the first thing to understand is that even men get cellulite, but it's a much smaller percentage because male hormones contribute to the way the male skin is different than the female skin. Skin in men, the epidermis top layer is actually thicker than in females. The dermal tissue layer, which is that second layer of skin, is thicker than in females, and that fatty tissue layer, there are actually two layers of fat, but that first superficial layer of fat is actually a denser. It actually looks like a crisscross hatching where you'll have the fibrous septate in there, but it's tighter weave.
Can we just say that's unfair?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But then that's why you're seeing it. In the women, that skin is thinner. The top and two layers of skin are thinner. And then you've got these fat cells that are much looser, and so they can push up to the surface and become more noticeable.
As we age, does it tend to get worse?
Well, our hormones change, and an important part of the cellulite picture is the fact that our dermis does change a lot, and many things contribute to that. Number one thing that I tell my patients is sun damage and sun exposure, and so it's really important that everything is covered when it's exposed to the outdoor elements, even if there's no sun, with sunscreen. So I tell my patients that because what happens is our collagen and elastin, which are the fibers that are actually found in that dermal tissue, become degenerated as we age, starting around the age of 30. And as they degenerate, that skin becomes thinner, more fragile, so the fat cells can push up even more and become more noticeable. So you want to do what you can to protect and prevent and delay that degeneration.
You know, I've had 3 kids, and as I've aged, I have noticed changes in my body.
Absolutely. I would expect that, again, partly because you've got more female hormones running around your body as you're pregnant, and then, of course, just the natural aging process of our skin and the changes that happen. So, sunscreen. Number one.
Good advice for many reasons. What about all these products that are out there that claim to, you know, erase cellulite and get rid of it? There's creams and there are other treatments that people can get. Do they really work?
You know, it's important to understand that there are creams and lasers and there are massage techniques that are available, radio frequency techniques. And while they do improve the cellulite, they are temporary treatments. They're not like your video, which has the exercise. Really, exercise and diet are the only things that are permanent change for your cellulite.
So there's no quick fix?
There is no quick fix.
In terms of diet, what's the most important thing if you're trying to battle cellulite in terms of losing weight?
Well, you obviously want a balance. You want to eat good portion control. You want to have your proteins and your carbohydrates and your essential or your beneficial fats. But you want to also make sure that whatever you do, you can reduce the percent body fat. So you want to, take out the fatty foods out of your diet if you possibly can.
Yeah.
So eating right, and then of course exercise, which I loved your video. I mean, that is so important. That kind of training to build muscle, which is key. That actually reduces the appearance of cellulite as well.
And one of the things I've heard is crash dieting can make cellulite look worse. And why is that? Is that have to do with the muscle?
Well, crash dieting, again, you're stretching your skin, and then it's coming back, and then it's stretching, come back. So you're actually destroying collagen and elastin fibers. Those fibers that I mentioned that are in that second layer of skin are being fragmented and destroyed, so that skin becomes looser, and those fat cells can be even more noticeable.
Right, and you're losing muscle too a lot of times when people are losing weight very quickly. And muscle's really an important part of reducing that appearance of cellulite, right?
Absolutely, and that's why, as I said, the exercise is so key.
The exercise DVD, well, that's why we devised this Fight Cellulite Fast workout program, because it's a combination of the cardiovascular and the strength training to help reduce the appearance of that cellulite.
Exactly.
Thank you, Dr. Avalon, for taking the time. It was great information, and we can all start fighting that cellulite.
Sounds great.